law. Donald Trump joins us. Nice to talk to you, Donald.
Hello, Greta.
Donald, I was reading your tweets, and you talk about health care, and it's basically a twofer. Under your latest tweet, we'll see record increases in premiums and inferior care services, and now you've got the state of South Carolina saying that anyone who enforces it, it hasn't been signed by the governor, it's just the House that's passed it, but they want to make it criminal to enforce it. What do you think?
Well, every business that I know of is having a hard time with Obamacare. The complications of it, people don't understand it. It's written poorly. It's extremely expensive. And every single business that I know of is having problems. And frankly, what South Carolina did is amazing because a lot of people are feeling that way. But businesses are having a tremendous problem, not only with the cost, but the complexity of it. They don't understand what it means.
Well, the thing in South Carolina will never, I mean, the federal law, the Supreme Court will obviously trump what South Carolina does. I think it's quite symbolic. I think it's symbolic and not will have an impact what South Carolina is doing. But in terms of the implementation, most people might think, who don't run businesses, that Obamacare is not creating a problem now. But a business like yours has got to be sorting through the regulations now, right? Trying to figure out what to do?
Well, it is creating a problem now, and I know a lot of businesses are going less than 30 people, and they're putting in part-time workers. And I noticed in the reports today there are a lot of part-time workers that came out in the stats. I was hearing today on one of the programs that you have a tremendous number of part-time workers coming out on the statistics. And frankly, you know, it's a nobody knows what to say. As you know, the government is hiring thousands and thousands of people to explain it to people. Nobody knows what to say. Nobody knows how to implement it. And I've been saying it may just die of its own weight. It's a heavy, heavy program that is extremely complex. There are probably lots of ways out of it because, again, a lot of people are saying they're hiring part-time employees. That way they don't even have Obamacare.
The Senate Finance Chairman, Max Baucus, who was one of the architects and one of the supporters of this, used the unfortunate term this past week in describing it as a possible train wreck. Of course, he's not running again in 2014 and Democrats to handle. But why do you think that he used that term? Do you think that it was just a slip, or do you think that he's having a new look at this?
No, I think he was being honest. I mean, he's telling the truth. It's a train wreck. Nobody knows what's going on. And a lot of people were very surprised that he came out. He was very much in favor of it. He wanted the law implemented. He fought for the law. But now he sees what's happening. And frankly, Greta, look, I love the country. I want the country to do well. If they're going to have a law, let it work. I'd love to see everything work. It's not working. He came out, and he was one of the big proponents. And he came out totally, I mean, he used the word train wreck. And that word is being used all over the place now because actually those words are very accurate.
If you could have a beer summit with the president at the White House in the next couple days or weeks, what would you tell him?
Well, I'd say they have to do something, whether it's starting all over again, and frankly that is a possibility. If a lot of people think that's the only way it's going to work, or certainly simplification. At a minimum, you need major simplification. But there's no question that it's hurting businesses. A lot of businesses are being hurt. And a lot of people aren't getting full-time jobs. They're getting part-time jobs because this way you simplify and you really, I mean, you reduce the cost of Obamacare. And if you look, many, many businesses are coming out with part-time jobs and under 30 people, et cetera, et cetera. This is not good for employment.
What do you make of the fact that there's been a tick downward in the month of April in the unemployment rate, although the participation rate did tick up?
Well, number one, it's good. Overall it's good, and it's been very, very slow, and it's been long in coming. But I really think we have a much better chance without the Obamacare because a lot of those stats are really just reflecting people that are working, but they're working more as a part-time position, and that came out very strongly in the numbers today, that there are a lot of part-time jobs. Now, that's being caused by Obamacare.
In terms of investments, are people sitting on money so they're not revving up the economy or making investments, trying to sit back and wait, or have people begun once again to start putting money back into the economy?
Well, I did something about 2 years ago that I really never done very much before. I bought a lot of stock. And the reason I bought stock is because the dollar is going to hell. And if the dollar goes to hell, you buy stock and you buy hard assets, real estate. I bought Doral Country Club. I bought a lot of real estate. Doral is in Miami. which is actually doing well because of the South Americans are pouring into Miami. Miami is boomtown USA. So, you know, I did something a couple of years ago that I've never really done, based on the fact that we have artificially low interest rates. They're very low, and they're artificially low. And also based on the fact that the dollar is going to hell, I bought stocks, and, you know, shockingly, they're through the roof.
Down as always, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, three college friends.